I want to get your thoughts because you're someone who's been researching Tether as I have, and we've been questioning, right? Where are the reserves at? What's actually going on here? Will they come into compliance? What we've seen in Europe in the micro regulations is they kind of just shrugged their shoulders and said, yeah, it's fine. And now we see the Genius Act is set to pass here, and it will require the stablecoin issuers to back the stablecoin one to one with US dollars in the bank account or treasuries, the equivalent, right? And so we know right now that Tether is not in compliance with that. They've been backing Tether by Bitcoin, which I think is one of the most foolish things you could do to back a stablecoin with a very volatile asset. And they've also been backing it with gold, which I think I do support that. That's been interesting and that's played out pretty well for them. But because of this new legislation, they would have to readjust their reserves. But what's your take on this new stablecoin legislation and the impact that it could have on Tether and are obviously the other competitors, Circle and RLUSD?
Yeah, I mean, Ripple's been meeting with the Treasury, and I think that they're going to be just fine. I think they've kind of set the standard for what this is supposed to look like. Like, what is the standard for the way that you're supposed to operate with the stable coin? I think that was the whole premise behind the launch of RLUSD late last year. As far as Tether's concerned, you know, they've offshored their operations down to El Salvador. Now they're in a not so good spot because of the lawsuit with Celsius. So currently have about $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin on their balance sheet that's in litigation, and it's not going to be able to be divested. Even if they did want to become compliant, they're not going to be able to. And that's going to give the US government the capability to sanction them. You've already seen Crypto.com de-risk from Tether. I think that you could see other US exchanges delist Tether very, very quickly. However, I think many are going to be impacted and caught off guard if and when that takes place. But that's also going to allow a lot of these other competitors to move into the market in a meaningful way. Think about Google, Apple, Amazon, X, all of these other large platforms and fintechs that have money transmitter licenses that have been stockpiling those in the background that are ready to move when stablecoins come out. And I think if the US government did want to provide an avenue for them to gain some market traction and circumvent Tether, sanctioning that network would basically do that in a very effective way.